Hey, this is Notser, and this is the Tier 4 Japanese cruiser, Kuma. She has 24,200 health, a top speed of 36.2 knots, 7 140mm guns, 8 torpedoes, a surface detect of 11 kilometers, and 16 AA defense rating. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main armament, reduce the chance of flood and fire. For my commander, basic survivability, expert marksman, and superintendent. We are on the map Faultline, and it's been a while since I played the Kuma. I felt like my knowledge and skill have improved. Why not revisit it and check it out? There's more competition. There's also more understanding of the game by your opponents. How will she fare? Is she completely irrelevant, like some of the comments I see while streaming? Now, I bet you're just regurgitating what you hear from someone else. I really don't think this is a worthless ship. Not a single ship in the game is worthless. But I understand that there are people out there that just want to be vocal. They want to be an extreme, so you pay attention. Now, this enemy destroyer, I felt like he was obviously scouting me with situation awareness. I'm going to move forward. I have hydroacoustic. Why do you have hydroacoustic? You're a cruiser. I don't care. Nobody plays aircraft carriers. Yes, there's an aircraft carrier in this game, but North America, we don't have them. They're very rare. It's not worth it to focus on a single ship that I might run into and give up all of this extra information, dominate the destroyers, and move on. That's what I seek. And for whatever reason, the Isokaze felt like beaching himself in a rather awkward position. He sent his torpedoes, and of course, I avoided them. And oh, this is just not nice at all. He can't do anything. I'm actually behind the island. He can't see me. This is just so cruel. And this is what hydro could lead to. If you have smoke, you bail out of it. The smoke is actually providing a blocker for the hydro user. And he tries to send more torpedoes, of course, low cooldown, early tier, and it doesn't do anything. We get first blood, not really a big surprise. Enemy Wyoming is in the area. Now the Kuma is sort of like a great big destroyer. That's the best way I could put it. It's not really what you would consider a cruiser, or at least what cruisers ultimately become. So I try to be elusive, aggressive, in range of my torpedoes to rebalance the game, and I was very confident that no one else could possibly be here. Of course, there is a cruiser, and for whatever reason, the Wyoming is not seeing me as a threat. Well, I'll change your tune. I'm going to send my torpedoes and see how well this works out. The enemy cruiser fires at me. This is the British cruiser, and he does okay damage. Not too bad with that shot. But here's where he does a lot of damage. And we do a lot of damage to him too. 3 citadels for him, 3 citadels for me. And I angle away. There is absolutely no armor for any cruiser at this tier. Pretty much everything overpins. If they show their side, fire AP. And we apparently have taken out his propulsion. He must use his damage control to fix it. I have the advantage, clearly, with a broadside target versus non-broadside. I get some citadels. At least one shot makes a citadel. Can we finish him off and move on? Just a touch too high. It completely overpins. Enemy Wyoming is still showing a perfect broadside, or almost a perfect broadside, while the enemy cruiser just moves away. So the battleship just in reverse. I fire at him. Maybe I should have let him in reverse a little bit more, but it doesn't matter. We don't even penetrate his armor. We don't do anything with the HE. And honestly, I would prefer to fire on the cruiser. He's an easier target to kill, plus he's lower. And that's sort of what you do in a battleship. You just pick on the cruisers. The cruisers are not your friend. You don't want any of them to stay alive. And I swap back to AP. That was a bad shot, in my opinion, just because he's clearly in reverse. And I basically fired directly at him. I need to lead him in reverse. Are we going to run into the island? Really? After we were so critical of the Isokaze running into the island? Granted, I am much further away. There's not really a chance that they're gonna kill me. They have a really tough shot. I'm almost perfectly neutral. The enemy cruiser leads into the island. And I just want to comment on something similar. If you ever see a target that potentially might run into an island, pull a Notser, because I do it so often. You need to either wait until he's actually done it, or assume that he will, if he's that close. You can't just continue the lead all the way into the island, because he's never going to get in the island, unless there's something ridiculously screwy or buggy that happens. He's just not going to go. And my tip is I usually wait until they've actually ran into the island, and then I lead them in reverse. That's the assumption. They're going to have to reverse out of that position. It works most of the time, and I would never ever accidentally fire into the island because of that. Yes, you're not doing your maximum potential damage, Notser. How dare you even suggest that? You're too slow. Well, you know what? I'm willing to put up with that in order to make sure that I hit them when they run into the island. So I'm detected. Obviously, we don't see who's within our detection range. It must be the destroyer. Or some really, really cool cruiser, but I'm gonna go with destroyer. And I tell my team, somewhere out there, I think. I initially thought that he might be south, so he can stick close to his team. It could potentially be that last known position destroyer that's just north of their base. That made sense. And nope, wrong. I used hydroacoustic because I didn't want this to happen. I didn't want some destroyer just blind torpedoing me and having no answer to what's going to happen. And conveniently, I've been able to keep the island in between my ship and the Kaiser, and I'm going to continue to do that. Part of it was just luck that he went this way, and the other part is me actually making an effort to keep it in between. Might as well not change it, right? And we do a quick check on the torpedo systems. It appears that he is aware of the potential torpedo threat. He's not really moving that fast. And I just want to drop off. And interestingly, I do drop off. So the destroyer has gained distance. He's going somewhere. And oh, looky where he's going. He's going towards the friendly aircraft carrier. Well, I got to get this done quick. I'm the closest one. There's no way a Tier 5 friendly aircraft carrier is going to be able to protect himself. Are you serious? So I send my torpedoes against the Kaiser. The Kaiser appears to be rotating slowly around the island. He does not see me. There is no tell that this is coming. And I'm going to try and shadow that destroyer. I'm not the quickest thing, but I'm not the slowest. I can definitely get over there quick enough if I put my mind to it. So the Kaiser, he's probably going, oh crap. He's running right into my torpedoes, and we're going to get one with no flood, and a second that does cause a flood. So that is critical. He's going to have to use damage control. If I could set up an attack on him, which I can't, I could possibly relight that dot. Fire is almost as good as a flood. Not quite, but it's almost. And it's just not happening. The goal is to try and get to the aircraft carrier and support him. I don't really care about the Kaiser right now. I can't really afford to do anything other than just intercept the destroyer. If the aircraft carrier is taken out of the match, it's not the end of the world. Let's face it. I just want to be real with you 1 second. It's a Tier 5 aircraft carrier. They're probably not very good at it. If they are, they would have had 3, 4, 5 kills. You know what I'm talking about. These guys are just ace pilots at Tier 4, 5, and 6 aircraft carriers. And for whatever reason, the Mitsuki is just stationary. I don't know what he's doing. I'm just going to fire my guns, since he doesn't have any interest in moving. And we just add a little bit of a lead every single time. There's really no risk that this guy is going to kill me with his guns. Let's be real. It's a Mitsuki. It's a Mitsuki. It has just awful gun systems. He sends his torpedoes. Is this going to be the kill shot? It looks good, and he just doesn't ever change his angling. Okay. Friendly Mitsuki runs into me. Not really a big deal. Maybe I was crowding him a little bit. I apologize, man. I'm just trying to kill the guy before he kills the aircraft carrier. It's pretty much that simple. And it looks like he does indeed survive, and I feel pretty good about that. The friendly Mitsuki also made the effort, and that's important. Make the effort. Yes, maybe going after the Kaiser would net us a kill too. But let's face it, the boat's going to be dead if we don't show up. Even if the Mutsuki on my team shows up, the gun systems are just so crappy that I don't think the friendly boat could survive long enough for him to kill him. We took him out. We know this area is safe. There is no longer any destroyers on the map. That is a huge point of all of this. Destroyers are so powerful to the objective, to anything on the map that gets isolated. It's just such a different game when they're out of the game. So it's worth it, I think. There is a Wyoming and New York, 2 battleships that are fairly low, and it looks like friendlies are working down both of them. The game so far, it's close, but it's not super close. These 2 battleships, they're gonna die. I do a quick check. Ooh, a Nikolai. I wonder how that Nikolai's doing. He's already got 1 kill. And he gets a 2nd kill. Not quite the 9 kills. Well, there's still time, Notser. He could get 7. It's still a great ship. I know it's not hard to be successful in a great ship, but you still have to perform well, and at least I try and explain my thought process as I'm working through the map. The New York is low. He's about to be within an effective gun range once I pass this island, of course. Friendlies are firing on his position. I don't know if they're actually going to kill him before I can even fire my gun. We're going to make an attempt. The friendlies still pushed on the eastern flank, and they basically ran smack dab into most of the enemy, and just as I get in range, the Nikolai gets another kill. 3 kills for the Nikolai. But I'm going to say that is going to be the last one, because the enemy team is so far away from these guys in the west, it's going to take them the remaining time just to get in position. I mean, the Nikolai doesn't have a speed of like 21, 22 knots, 23. It's a slow ship. And the enemy boat is dealing with issues. Friendly aircraft carrier is spotting him. Friendly cruiser is in a process of capturing the base. We're just going to work our way towards that bogue. The bogue is probably, it's a toss-up between the Langley and the bogue. Slowest ship in the game. What is it, like 14 and 16 knots? 16 and 17, 18 knots? They are ridiculously slow. Absolutely ridiculous. The bogue is successful. The enemy team is successful in protecting their little flank. So this is actually going to turn out to be a pretty difficult engagement. There are 3 enemy ships in that sector. The friendly Svetlana is also in the area. And he's chosen to leave the capture in order to try and get more damage. Honestly, it's probably the better play. I don't think we're going to lose this game. And it is nice to get more kills. But if you were ever in a position where maybe it's a toss-up, maybe the enemy team has 3 ships up, maybe my team has 3 ships, you should definitely capture the base. Screw trying to get an extra kill. You got to win the game, baby. Just win. And I'm going to win a prize because I'm going to run into this aircraft carrier. And oh yes, look at who it is. He's backing up. Fortified 21. Is it Fortified 21? Yes, Fortified 21. He's going to melt under the might of my guns. And I'm going to stick with HE just because the angling is a little weird. Perhaps AP would be better, but I think we're doing plenty of damage to this guy. And we can still get a Citadel with HE. As ridiculous as that sounds, we earn Confederate, which is nice. That is some extra crew training. The friendly fires his guns, and he gets a little bit of damage, and I would really like to kill him. Oh, we get lucky. We get a Citadel. Nice, nice, nice. Enemy Kaiser, enemy Omaha. Of course I'm going to fire at the Omaha, and I'm going to switch to AP. And he, of course, he angles. Maybe it was by accident, but he's going to flatten out anyway. And we missed the Citadel. But now we're in a position where we can get that Citadel in. There's the first one. Remember, these ships just don't have any armor. The friendly cruiser is dead, and I don't think the destroyer is visible. So it's just me out in front of this enemy at Omaha, and the Kaiser. Ooh, the Kaiser gets a good shot. Now, you might notice my positioning. I'm trying to be as neutral, bow on as I can to the Kaiser, and I also want to bring in the torpedoes. So I basically send directly at the Kaiser, spreading it out over the indicator, and I'm going to try and kill the Omaha. Now, I get a little bit of my shells off. And is it enough? It is enough. Great. We get a citadel on the enemy cruiser, and it looks like the Kaiser is going to die to our torpedoes. And just like that, we earned a buttload of medals. That was pretty fun at the end, getting 3 kills very, very quickly. And I just love this. I was just laughing in the stream. How satisfied are you with the battle you've just played? Well, I'm not extremely dissatisfied. I'm not dissatisfied. Neutral, satisfied? No, extremely satisfied. And who wouldn't be? Confederate, First Blood, Kraken Unleashed, Double Strike, and then those 2, I don't remember the medal exactly, but it's rewarded after you die. 5 kills, almost 100,000 points of damage done. We earned 1,715 base XP. Absolutely blew everyone out of the water. But you would expect that when you get a double strike and a 3rd kill in the last minute of the game. Now my damage is pretty split. HE, AP, and torpedoes account for 98% of my damage. You basically have to use everything at your resources to be successful in the Kuma, but you can definitely be successful in the Kuma. I hope you enjoyed this game. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.